Hello students, in this video we will be talking about the properties of Laplace transformation. So let us look at the properties of Laplace transformation. So you have the first property. So let me write down properties of Laplace transformations, and I will simultaneously solve the problems. So the first property is linearity. We already know this. So that means that Laplace transform of alpha f plus beta g is equal to alpha L of f plus beta L of g. Proving the properties of Laplace transform is very simple. So I'll prove one or two properties. Rest you can do by yourself. So here I am just taking alpha f plus beta g. If I want to take the Laplace transform, that will be 0 to infinity e raised to power minus sx alpha f plus beta g x dx, right? So now you can use the property of integral, that is alpha 0 to infinity e raised to power minus sx fx dx plus beta 0 to infinity e raised to power minus sx gx dx, right? Now this is alpha. What is this? This is L of f of x and this is L of g of x. So this is alpha L of f of x plus beta L of g. So you get that L of alpha f plus beta g is alpha L of f plus beta L of g. So hence we prove the linearity property. This we use again and again everywhere. We'll see. Second property is called first shifting theorem. First shifting property or first shifting theorem. So this says that if you have a function L of f of you have a function f of x and you take the Laplace transform of that function, call it f of s, and if you multiply that function with e raised to power ax, then your Laplace transform will be the same function. The only thing is s will be replaced by s minus a. So this is what this theorem is saying. So let us prove it. Right. So proof is, so you have L of, you want to start with this e raised to power ax fx, right? This will be 0 to infinity e raised to power minus sx e raised to power ax fx dx, right? Now you see this is 0 to infinity e raised to power minus s minus ax fx dx. This is also the definition of Laplace transform. The only thing is s is replaced by s minus a. So this quantity is nothing but f of s minus a. So this is what we wanted to prove, that Laplace transform of e raised to power ax fx will be f of s minus a. So this is what we proved. This is called the first shifting property. Now you can solve some problems based on this property. For example, if I want to find out Laplace transform of e raised to power at cos of bt, right? So you can do that. Here you know that L of cos of bt, we know the formula, right? The formula is s upon s square plus b square. Now because you are multiplying with a here, so you use the first shifting if you will use, so everywhere s will be replaced by s minus a. So you'll get s minus a upon s minus a square plus b square, right? So suppose if I give you this question that you have to find out L of say e raised to power alpha t cube, what will be that, right? You can do that very easily. So you know that L of t cube is 3 factorial upon s raised to power 4. So this is 6 upon s raised to power 4. Now because on the left hand side I am multiplying with alpha t, right? So you have to replace on the right hand side s with s minus alpha. So you have s minus alpha raised to power 4. So this is how you do the questions. Now I can give you another. So L of x minus 2 square e raised to power minus 3x. So can you do this? It's very simple. So you will start with L of x minus 2 square. So this is L of x square minus 4x plus 4. So this is L of x square minus 4 L of x plus 4 L of 1, right? So what is L of x square? This is 2 factorial upon s cube, fine, and minus 4, what is this? This is 1 upon s square plus 4, this is upon s. So this is when you have x minus 2 square only. Now you multiply with e raised to power minus 3x. So you multiply with e raised to power minus 3x, x minus 2 square. So on the right hand side, your s will be replaced by s plus s minus minus 3. So s will be replaced by s plus 3 by first shifting. So first shifting theorem says that on the right hand side you will have 2 upon s plus 3 cube minus 4 upon s plus 3 square plus 4 upon s plus 3. So this is going to be your answer. So this is how you use the first shifting theorem to solve your problems. For example, if I can give you one more example. So you have L of t square sine hyperbolic t. So how can you find out this? Here you see, you know this sine hyperbolic t formula, but then t square you don't know how to multiply it with t and then take the Laplace transformation. So what you can do, you can just write this sine hyperbolic as e raised to power t minus e raised to power minus t by 2, right? So this becomes 1 by 2 L of t square e raised to power t minus 1 by 2 L of t square e raised to power minus t, right? Now L of t square, what is this? This is 2 upon s cube. So first shifting theorem says that here you are multiplying with e raised to power t, therefore s will be replaced by s minus 1. So this is 1 by 2 upon s minus 1 cube minus 1 by 2. Here you are multiplying with e raised to power minus t, so s will be replaced by s minus minus 1, that is s plus 1. So you will get 2 upon s plus 1 cube. So you get this 2 and 2 cancel, this 2 and 2 will cancel. So 1 upon s minus 1 cube minus 1 upon s plus 1 cube. So this is your answer, right? So do you see, this first shifting theorem is quite useful. Now let us look the third property. Okay, property 3. This says that suppose you have L of f of x is f of s, then if you multiply with x on the left hand side, then you will get derivative on the right hand side with respect to s, of course, with a negative sign. If you are multiplying with x square, then you will get minus 1 square d2 by ds2 fs, and if you are multiplying with x cube, you will get minus 1 cube d cube by ds cube fs, and so on, right? And in general, if you are multiplying with x raised to power n f of x, this will be minus 1 raised to power n dn dsn fs, right? Now you think about how you are going to prove this. So this is quite simple. You will start with here and then you will use the integration by parts, right? So I am not proving it, I'll just give you a hint. Hint is that you start with L of x f of x, that will be 0 to infinity e raised to power minus fx x fx. Now you want to get rid of this x somehow to reach at f of s, so you will use integration by parts. So use your imagination that how you can do that, integration by parts. So that is the idea. So you see, these are the formulas. You see, if you are multiplying with 1x, then you have to differentiate 1 times with respect to s, and you have to put minus 1 once. If you are multiplying with x square, then you have to put minus 1 raised to power 2, and then the derivative is also 2 times, and so on. So we'll use this. This is quite useful. For example, suppose I want to find out L of x cos 3x. So I know L of cos of 3x is s upon s square plus 9. So if I multiply with x, so what I'll get minus dy by ds of s upon s square plus 9. Now you can just differentiate, that will be quotient rule. So s square plus 9 square, then you have s square plus 9 into derivative of s, that is 1, minus s into derivative of s square plus 9, that is 2s. So you will get minus s square plus 9 minus 2s square upon s square plus 9 whole square. So this is s square minus 9 upon, you will get s square plus 9 whole square. So this is your answer, right? Similarly, I can do another examples. So there are so many examples where you multiply with x or x square or cube and so on. X cube e raised to power 3x. So here you see, you know that L of e raised to power 3x is 1 upon s minus 3. So you remember L of e raised to power ax was 1 upon s minus a. So L of x square e raised to power 3x is going to be minus 1 square d2 by ds2 1 upon s minus 3. So this is, you differentiate it once, you will get minus 1 upon s minus 3 square dy by ds. Now differentiate once more, you will get 2 upon s minus 3 cube. So this is your answer. Clear? So like this you can have many problems. So I can give you more if you want. Suppose you want to find out L of x raised to power 5. If you want to do many calculations, e raised to power 3x. So you can compute this, right? Okay. Now let us look at the next property. Next property says that if I have L of f of x is equal to f of s. In the last property, third property, I multiplied with x. Here I divide with x. If I divide with x, of course x is non-zero, then on the right hand side will be p to infinity fp dp. Again, I am not going to do the proof. That is your part. You have to prove it. And if I divide 2 times with x, so that will be p to infinity, p to infinity. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm using the variable p here. This is s, right? Say dummy variable, doesn't matter. ds, and so on. So if I'm dividing with x raised to power n, okay, let me write down again. If I'm dividing with x raised to power n, then I have to integrate n times. N times you have to integrate your capital F of s, right? Okay, so let us do this questions based on this particular property. Find L of 1 minus cos 2x upon x, right? So you do this. L of 1 minus cos of 2x will be L of 1 minus L of cos of 2x. So that will be 1 by s minus s upon s square plus 4. Right? Now if you divide with x, so L of 1 minus cos 2x upon x, that will be s to infinity 1 upon s. You can change the variable here if you want, ds. Right? So what will be that? That will be, now this is log of s minus, you multiply with 2 and you divide with 2. So this is 1 by 2 log of s square plus 4. And then I told you that how to put this limit. You put b here and then you put limit b going to infinity. So this will be equal to limit b going to infinity. So if you directly put, you will get infinity minus infinity form. So you just modify. So you can use that log of s minus square root, you can bring here. So this is log of s square plus 4 is power half, that is square root of s square plus 4 s to b. So this is limit b going to infinity log of s upon s square plus 4 square root s to b. Now you put b and s. So this is limit b going to infinity log of b upon b square plus 4 minus log of s upon s square plus 4 square root. Now what is this quantity? You have to look at this limit. There is no b here. So you look at this limit. This is limit b going to infinity. What I can do is I can divide with b. So this is 1 upon 1 plus 4 by b square. This minus sign I can use here plus log of, because there is no b here, so I can just keep it as on side. Now this is, as b goes to infinity, this is 0. So this is log 1, that is 0. So your answer is log of s square plus 4 by s. Right? So you see, this is how you can solve the problems. Right? So let me do one more problem. This is actually interesting based on the above property. Find Laplace transform of sin x by x, and hence show that 0 to infinity sin x by x dx is equal to pi by 2. Right? Okay, so let us do this. So you have Laplace transformation of sin x by x, you have to find. So we know that L of sin x will be 1 upon s square plus 1. So if I divide with x, so I have to integrate on the right hand side from s to infinity 1 upon s square plus 1 ds. So that is going to be tan inverse of s. You should remember the formulas for integration. So that is going to be pi by 2 minus tan inverse of p. This is your answer. Now the next question is, you have to find out the value of this integral. Do you think how we can find out? So the answer is yes. You can just write the definition here. This is 0 to infinity e raised to power minus sx sin x upon x dx is equal to pi by 2 minus tan inverse p. Now look at the integral which I want to compute. I want sin x upon x. So if I want this term to be 1. So this is true for all s. If I sin, I'm sorry, I'm using p here somehow, because actually I'm used to write both p as well as. So this variable is same, right? Now you see, I want this to be 1, so I put s is equal to 0. So this is 0 to infinity sin x upon x dx. This will be pi by 2 minus tan inverse of 0, that is 0. So this is pi by 2. So this integral 0 to infinity sin x by x dx is pi by 2. Right. Now, can you think of what we just did? We just found out the application of Laplace transformations. You see, one of the application of Laplace transformation is you can find the values of the integral. You see, it is not possible to solve these integrals 0 to infinity. You have to compute the values. It is very hard to compute these values. So you just computed the value of integral having the limits 0 to infinity using the Laplace transformation. I can give you one exercise if you want. So you can find the value of this integral. I can give you, right? So you can find the value of this integral x e raised to power minus 2x cos x dx 0 to infinity. What is this? And the answer is 3 by 25. Use Laplace transform to find out this integral, right? So you see, these are the properties of Laplace transformation. We have done just 5 properties. Let us move on to the next property. Next property is, which this is very important, we will use it for solving differential equations again and again. This property says that, now you see, first we multiplied with x, then we divided by x, and we saw the right hand side we have derivatives and integrations. Now we are saying, okay, what if we differentiate? So you have L of f of x as f of s, then L of f dash x. What will be that? It is s into f of s minus f of 0. And if you are having L of f dash of x, that will be s square into f of s minus s f of 0 minus f dash 0. And L of f triple dash x will be s cube f of s minus s square f of 0 minus s f dash 0 minus f double dash 0. Right? And so on. And the general formula, L of f nth derivative of f is s raised to power n f of s minus s raised to power n minus 1 f of 0 minus s raised to power n minus 2 f dash 0 and minus so on minus f nth derivative n minus 1th derivative at 0. Right? So this is the formulas and you have to derive it yourself. Okay, so let us do the problems based on this. So the first question is, find L of f dash x where f of x is e raised to power 2x sin x upon x. Right? So you see, you need to find out L of f dash x. You are given f of x. So first thing is, what you can do, you can just find the derivative and then you find out the Laplace transformation. Or what we can do, we know that L of f dash x is going to be s into f of s minus f of 0. Now what is the value of f at 0 here? Right? Can you see what is f of 0? If the function this can be f of 0 or the limit here, because 0 the function is not defined. So look at the limit. So this is 1 into 1. So this is 1 into 1. So this is your the value of the function at 0 is 1. Right? So this is s f of s minus 1, where f of s is, what is f of s? F of s is Laplace transform of e raised to power 2x sin x by x. Now can you find out this value? The answer is yes. What you can do, you can you know that you know how, here you can use the first shifting. Here also this property you know. So L of sin x we know. Sin x is 1 upon s square plus 1. Now if I multiply, or the next question is what I should do. I should take this first or this first. Now you see, ideally you should take this first. Why? Because when you divide by x, you have to integrate. Here if you first take the first shifting, then integration will be difficult. So what you do, you sin x by x will be 0 s to infinity 1 upon s square plus 1 ds. So that is the property. So this is tan inverse of s to infinity. So this is tan inverse of s is pi by 2 minus tan inverse of s. So you get sin x by x has this Laplace transform. Now if you multiply with e raised to power 2x, so it means that whatever is the Laplace transform, you have to replace s by s minus 2. So that will be pi by 2 minus tan inverse of s minus 2. Right. So this is your f of s. This is your f of s. Now put it here. So therefore L of f dash x will be s into this quantity, that is pi by 2 minus tan inverse of s minus 2 minus 1. So this is your answer. Right. And now the last property. Last property is that if you have L of f of x is f of s, and if you integrate it from 0 to x, then on the right hand side you have to divide, right? And if you integrate it 2 times, 0 to x fx dx, then on the right hand side you have to divide by s square, and so on. In general, you have, if you integrate it n times, 0 to x n times, then on the right hand side you have to divide by s raised to power n. So that is the idea. So let us look at one problem. So you have find L of 0 to x e raised to power x sin x by x dx, right? So you just found this. So this is equal to, using this formula, this is equal to f of s upon s, where f of s is Laplace transform of sin e raised to power x sin x by x. We just found it to be this was your pi by 2 minus tan inverse of s minus 1. In the last question we did so. So this is equal to 1 by s pi by 2 minus tan inverse of s minus 1. Right. So these were the properties of Laplace transformation. Right. In the next video we are going to talk about inverse Laplace transformation. Thank you. Thank you for watching our video. Please do share and subscribe, and also you can join our channel for paid membership. We have 3 plans, 59, 89 and 119. Right. For this you have these 3 live sessions in a month, and for this you have 3 live sessions plus 1 video of your own choice. You can send us the topic, and we will create a video in a week and we will send you back, or we'll upload on our channel. And plus in this 119 you will have your own PDF notes for a particular playlist. You can go into the join button, you can click the button and you will have detailed information about that, right? And this money, this will not only help you, but it will also help us to create this quality mathematics content for everybody, right? So we are creating these videos for free, and we want that everybody should have a quality mathematics education. So whatever you are contributing, it is kind of donation also. It will be, it will help us in scaling up our channel for more videos, and we will try to cover as much as topics as possible. Thank you for your support. Please share this video and keep supporting. Thank you.